Alright, yo guys, Joey's Gaming here, back with another Borderlands 3 video. Now in today's video, we're covering up another build. We're covering Ascendant Fl4 2.0. Now, I made this build a while back. Alright, I think it was level 60. I think it was before like when level 60 came out, before all the arms race stuff and everything. So this is I thought this is a pretty good time to update this build with all the crazy shenanigans that happened between that time period. Now, this build, I will say, is more focusing on bossing than mobbing. Like, you can mob still, but because of how our ACs work and everything, mobbing's kind of weird. I'll go into that later if you want to cover more elements and everything. There's another set of items you can use, but I mainly rock certain anoint for our weapons. But yeah, this was a full HP flag build that I usually don't do full HP flag builds. I usually didn't do that back in the day. Back in the day, I had nuclear follow flag, which was my URAD build that basically just was so strong. It was so nice to play. But this is a health gate one that will beat Hemovorous, the Invisible, the new raid boss. Because if you don't have health gate with Hemovorous, because they spam attacks so much, you'll just die instantly. Health gate for the Hemo fight is really nice, and I do have, for Flag, I do have a weapon that will help you in the Hemo fight. But covering the weapons, really, all you need is consecutive hits or ASC splash on like high fire weapons, or even like rocket launchers. You can use ASC splash on them, but mainly what we're looking for is consecutive hits on most of our weapons. We have like consecutive hits. We have the King's Calls. Now these weapons are for bossing. They're only for bossing. You will not mob with this because, well, first of all, we have the action skill active anoint on them, and this is a Gorillas in the Mist gun, but we're still using the Bounty Hunter. I do not have a stack bot on this build. I refuse to use the stack bot. This paired with Monarch and all that is just plain dumb. It doesn't even make sense. Like, it's just dumb, and I don't like using it. Maybe you guys will, but I don't include it in the save file, so you guys are going to have to look for it instead. So yeah, we have the King's Calls. These are absolutely insane bossing. The Kipsworth and the multi-tap, they got buffed recently, and they are absolute madhouses. Like the multi-tap can boss, it can mob. The Kipsworth can boss and mob. They also buffed the reflux, which is nice. It's a nice little improvement. Now I wish I had a next to max radiation reflux times 7, or a higher mag one, like a 10 mag times 14 reflux, because with the revolter, which is the shield we're using, you just spam way too many bullets out, so that you're basically going to not even have the time to really chain multiple enemies with the reflex, which is what it's good at. So because of the times 14 and low mag that we had, I don't really use it all that much, so I'm losing a little bit of damage for that, but it's fine. So yeah, like, you can use anything in this build. I have hails on this build that are like really nice. They absolutely melt. I have the Hellwalker as well. I have some launchers because, believe it or not, this is a splash build as well. You can use splash weapons and do well with them, especially if you have a splash roll on your class mod. We have Plague Bearers, we have, like I said, the Iron Cannon. The Skull Masher is really nice to use. The Sandhawks, these will do great against bosses. They're just, the Sandhawk is a Sandhawk. What can you say? And we also have the Boogeyman. Now I added this last minute because I thought it was nice for a grave ward kill, but you won't really use it since you know how basically Fl4 works. You won't really use it all that much. So yeah, for weapons, that's basically that. For our shield option, now I only have one shield on this save. It is my Revolter with action skill start. Trigger any effects that trigger on shield break or fill. Now what this does basically is when you deplete your shield with the Revolter, you get Shock Enraged for 15 seconds, which is basically 150% multiplicative shock damage, which is an ASC on crack, basically. But you activate it when you start your action skill. And yeah, it basically activates because of the anoint when you pop into fadeaway, so we can, or you use your Rex, so we can dish out some amazing damage because this is real nice. Now, outside of DLC, if you want to use, if you don't have like DLC 6, you can use the Old God. Now, the Old God is a really nice option. It is your most damaging option outside of it. You can use the O.M with action skill start as well. It is pretty nice. What are people saying? Oh my god. But yeah, you can use the action skill start O.M, or for mobbing, you can use the action skill start Frozen Heart to freeze anything instantly. Now, for our grenade, Fl4 is really has one grenade, the Hunter Seeker. This will get your action skill back in an instant, and that's pretty much it. It gives you a great cooldown because of head count, and if you have Untitled versions, you can do some pretty nice damage as well. They can damage enemies as well. For our class mod, I'm mostly using the Bounty Hunter. I almost never use the Cosmic Stalker, but it is good. It is the mobbing option. If you want it, use it. It's on the save file because I know it is great for Fl4. And I've used it in the past and it was great. Now, for our artifact, we use the Pearl of Ineffable Knowledge, or just the Pearl. Max size variate, that's what you want. If you don't have DLC 2 or you don't want to use the Pearl, we have a Snowdrift Victory Rush. You can use the Toboggan as well for launchers. AoE, movement speed, max size, really nice for Fl4. Now, if you're going to use the Snowdrift Vic Rush, it's mostly going to be for bossing, one-shots, and stuff like that. So, yeah. Now, because I don't have, like, I have really good gear, but I don't have perfect gear. I don't have my, my next to max rat, so I don't get another ASC, so as you can see, like, I'm not doing, like, crazy damage. But I can basically use the reflux to kill enemies like this. Let's use the multi-tap as well. Pop into fadeaway, stand still. I forgot to mention skill tree and all that, but I want to show a little bit of gameplay before, because I don't edit my videos, or like my build videos, so I kind of want to show a little bit of gameplay just before I go into the skill tree, because this is what you do. You just loop fadeaway. It's just a basic fadeaway build. But you can use Rex as well. You just won't have like that much of a, you know, of survivability, because Rex don't draw aggro. You don't get the augments to draw aggro. I'll stop before the bridge. Basically, I'll kill these enemies here. So yeah, basically, if you can see in the bottom, we have we have power inside, which helps us tremendously for damage. V1 and V2 damage is very, very prominent in the Flex skill tree. As you can see, even if we go ahead and like we have a fire, or like not a fire, a shock resistant enemy, we still get some nice damage. So yeah, I'm gonna go and fade away here. I'm going to show the skill tree. So in the skill tree, red tree is pretty standard, apart from one thing. It's a standard red tree. You take Leave No Trace, Interplanetary Stalker, Hunter's High, Head Count, Big Game, The Most Dangerous Game, Galactic Shadow, and Megavore. Now, where my build changes is I have 2 points into 2 Fang, which is alright for single pellet, 2 pellets, and maybe if you push it, guns that have 3 pellets, this will add a ton of damage. This is way more than Grim Harvest, but it does not proc often. It's a 10% chance when you shoot, you'll get a 10% chance to shoot a second bullet, but it's a certain like amount of shots every like let's say 25th shot is going to be a Leave No Trace not a Leave No Trace, a 2 Fang proc. Now, if you don't want the inconsistency of 2 Fang, you could put the points into second intention. This will give you some reload speed, and Flak, outside of this, we have no reload speed. We spec 2 Fang, no reload speed. So, yeah. Don't spec Grim Harvest. I've found that Grim Harvest is some nice gun damage, but you really don't need it when you have consecutive hits. It just melts anything. But yeah, for the green tree, it's a pretty good green tree. Now, I spec'd for max damage, less cooldown, and my pet having a little bit of help. So basically we're picking up Furious Attack. This is some nice gun damage. It's going to be about 20%, I think, 20% gun damage, max stacks, which you can stack up with anything. Your pet can stack it, no, your pet cannot stack it up, you have to stack it up. But if you use the Bounty Hunter, this will get boosted by, Big Game boosts it already, but your Bounty Hunter also boosts it a little bit. So there's that. If you're using the Cosmic Stalker for mobbing situation, this will do a ton of damage. Like, your hunter skills will just be insane in mobbing situations as long as, you're using Cosmic Stalker. But the Bounty Hunter still works. We have Overclock. Now this is even more fire rate. I know you do not specifically need it because the Revolter already gives you a crap ton of fire rate, but it is there to absolutely go burr. Just like my clips that I shown a little bit on YouTube, they go burr. We have 1 point in all my BFS. Now, this is so our pet gets a little bit of our health regen. It is enough to keep him alive, but barrels will kill him, and since our pets are really dumb, unless you're using the SMG jammer, the Gunslinger jammer, jabber, or is it the BFA? It's the Gunslinger jabber. Like, your pets will just run to Wotan, which has like this melee thing like over him or like under him. Basically you get damaged if you go too close to him, and your pet will just die instantly. So if you have a res pistol, you can shoot it to keep the bonuses, because we're using the Spire and Scorcher that gives us a bit of elemental damage. If not, you can always go with the Jabber. It is nice. It's a bit more critical damage. It's not too noticeable, but the movement speed is nice. I'll say the movement speed is a great option. Now, we also have Lick the Wounds, because we gotta get the perk, man. You gotta get the perk. It is a staple of pretty much all flag builds. If you go down and you have no enemies to kill, this will your pet will pick you up if he's still alive. So again, if he's downed and you're down, you can just res him with a res pistol and he'll come and pick you up. So having a res pistol on the build would be a nice idea, but I do not have one on the save because I wanted to keep one slot for you guys picking on stuff up. We have 3 points into turn, tail, and run. Now, when you're not moving at all, not even jumping and stuff like that, when you're just not moving, you'll get 25% gun damage and more fire rate. And when you are moving, you're going to get some damage reduction and health regen, which is nice. Now we have Hidden Machine. Now this is the spec for Fadeaway. I usually use Fadeaway. Hidden Machine will give you 30% V1 extra damage when enemies do not see you. So mostly when you pop into Fadeaway, enemies that start spawning will activate that 30% damage. Now we have the Fast and the Furious. We have 3 points into it for extra movement speed, for extra pet damage, and extra gun damage when we're above half health. We have 2 points into Rage and Recover. You can put those points into Eager to Impress if you want, because the health regen, even though has been buffed to 8%, and even though it is some nice health regen, it is not really enough. I think it's not really enough to make Flag survivable, because Flag bad. We all know that. Now, for the last point, we have, for the last point in Green 3, we have the Power Inside. Now, this will give you 25% extra V1 damage when you're below half health, but when you have full health, you'll get 50%. When you don't have full health, you get 25%. So this is basically kind of like the Revolter, I guess. I'm comparing to the Revolter because the Revolter gives you extra damage when you start your action skill, and this will do as well. So in Purple Tree, we have nothing because Purple Tree bad, but I am working on a Purple Tree build that Bob has made already, but shh, we don't talk about that. And Blue Tree is pretty standard. We just picked up Persistence Hunter for action skill duration and gun damage. Picked up Ferocity to move down skill tree to get He Bites that will proc, like Reflex will proc Frenzy, which is 40% extra V1 or V2 gun damage. V2 damage at max stacks. Right now I'm just waiting till these suckers spawn. Okay, you guys. God. This is a bad run. I can't get my action skill back. You could spec Eager to Impress, like I said, because action skill tends to just not want to come back as fast as before. Because we don't have like tons of chains going on. But still. No, I don't find enemies. I can't find enemies. I can't get my action skill back because I can't find like a big group of enemies. I would do this in True Takedown instead. Like honestly, True Takedown might even be better than normal takedown. Your damage will be fine. It's just that your cooldown is going to be better because you can chain more enemies because there are more enemies. I don't know why I keep constantly reloading. It's absolutely useless to do so. Alright. So normally what I do here is I switch to AC Corrosive because the Revolter just absolutely tears through Wotan's shield. And I use whatever, you can use whatever you want. I'll use the Light Show or maybe the Kipsworth. I mean, I'll use the Light Show because I used the Light Show in the previous build. But the Kipsworth is super strong at bossing as well. Alright, so that was the boss. And let's streamer this. Alright, there we go. So yeah, guys, if you enjoyed the build video, be sure to like, subscribe. If you guys want to see more builds, more streams, and more fun stuff on my channel, be sure to hit that bell notification to keep up with my my uploads. And now I'll go over the comments because there's a lot of comments. What have you done? Pod nice build. Okay, build 3 had an update today. I don't know. No. Yeah. I don't read at the end mostly, but because so many comments, I'll read them a little bit. But yeah, this has been an amazing build. Like, I might have the damage for mobbing might be like a little bit lower on the lower side than what you could see on YouTube from other content creators, but the damage for bossing, Jesus Christ, I because you don't really need to match elements to multiple types of enemies, you can just shred. You can just shred. So yeah, I'll be out. I'll go. Bye. Hope you enjoy the build.